Hi everybody, I'm Thijs, and this is the second video in the series of me building something for a science museum. Last one you saw me presenting by myself. Here I started out being sick, so this is gonna be me doing the voiceover. So for this project I'm building a couple of machines, and all these machines are gonna be filmed and put into one video that explains what it's like to work there. So every machine kind of mimics the working environment with photographs of employees who work there. So this machine will have a photograph of the outside of the building, and there is an employee which photo will rise from behind it, and when he's done talking there's going to be a whole bunch of Polaroids from his colleagues. So what I'm going to build for that is a system that runs on one DC motor, and it's going to turn a gear screw, which can then lift the photograph of the guy with the Polaroid, and at the end it will like wind up some rope that has a bunch of Polaroids from his colleagues attached. So here you see me making holders for the bearings. It's made from a piece of tubing, a small piece of tubing cut in half, and then there's gonna be bolts welded up to them, so I can put screws between them to clamp the bearings, and I have like a stand for them. So here you see the stand with the half piece of tubing with the two bolts, or no, nuts, I'm sorry, two nuts, and there's gonna be a bolt in there, which then yeah, here you see the total thing. I can clamp it, I can put a bearing in between it, and the bearing can hold an axle with a gear. There's probably an easier way, or maybe there is an existing ready-made clamp for bearings. I never can find them. Bearings are sometimes a bit mysterious to me still, but so I have to make do with this solution. And the axle that you see holds the gear right now, that was a failure. It's very wobbly, so gonna make a new one for that right now. Yeah, I have a new axle for this gear. It's too thin, so I'm gonna make the hole a bit bigger. This is a part of the screw gear. Yeah, a bigger hole. Yeah, I can yank a piece of threaded metal in there. That was a time lapse of me tidying up. Yeah, there in the middle of the axle you see the other part of the gear screw. I'm gonna do a small test fit. It doesn't run so smoothly, and I don't really like the wired, the threaded piece of metal. So I'm gonna just do a clean metal bar, but I don't have it one of the right size. I don't have a lathe, so I'm just put it in a drill and then I can sand it to the right size. Now it runs smoothly between the gear with the two bearings. Also connects with the screw gear. Now make a flat side on the axle, so I have something to screw on the gear onto. But as you see me like figuring out right now, because I made the hole bigger, there's not like a good hold for the screw to put into the gear. So I make a small thing right now that I can put onto the gear that holds the screw that can hook the gear onto the axle. So you see now there's this new piece of metal hooked onto the gear. Yeah, like a ring. And I can thread that. So now I can put a screw in there that holds on the flat side of the axle. Focus. So now it's stuck on there. It still moves freely. So it works. I think I'm gonna find the right DC motor for it right now. Oh, the threaded wire didn't really work, so I put a bolt on there at the end. So now I can really tighten it down. So I think this is the first time I did like a non-linear gearing system, like a normal gear that just sits parallel to another gear. That I've done that before, but like to make it go in another direction, that's new. And I don't really have the like machining tools and knowledge to make everything precise. So yeah, you saw me clapping. That's like because it's a small victory. Also this the gear for the band didn't really fit, so you saw me put a bigger piece on there. Yeah, this is like a big victory for me. It's every time I do something new and make it like yeah, less shitty, I think. And never done something like this before, so it's nice. So this is the outside of the museum. I just printed it out on photo paper, and I put it on some small multiplex. So this project is going to be a video, and people are going to talk about what it's like to work there, and I'm gonna mimic their working environment with these types of machines, and they're displayed in some with Polaroids. And he talks about sitting on the roof on the terrace of the building. So that's why we show it's going to be the end of the video. You see the whole building, and you see him talking about what it's like to stand there. So in this shot for the video, you'll see him, or you see the building, and you hear a guy talking, and you'll see him coming from behind. Yeah. So the whole axle that you saw just now, is like a lever to pull him up to the photograph, but it shouldn't run like forever. So it shouldn't run forever. So I'm gonna cut off some tooth on this gear, so it will just go. It will just go up and then it stays up. So here I have like a PC, and there's this photograph to test it out with. I think I'm gonna I put some rubber bands in the clamps of the bearing, so it gives it a bit of slack if it's not like very precise made. It makes it a little bit easier that it's still like stuck, but it has some leeway if it's not like 100% parallel. And I made a stand that like catches the rod, so it's already kind of working. Just tweaking it a little bit, making the rod tight. Yeah, it has to. Yeah. So very excited about that it worked out. I had hoped it would work, but I didn't know. Yeah, so here you see the idea that the photo will come from behind of the building, which also because of the shape of the building, I think works very nice. It's really revealing, and then the photograph sits in that like negative space of the building. And so now, like when he's done talking, you're gonna be you saw me with my cup of tea for my throat. When he's done talking, there's gonna be he says like it's fun to work with colleagues, and then you'll see like a whole bunch of colleagues coming up from with Polaroids. So now I'm making like a stand. Which just it doesn't have like a bearing or anything intricate. It's just a metal rod sitting into holes. I'm making a what's it called? Like a chain to the right size. I always lose the small chain clips, so I always need. I think I'm looking for the one right now to put into it. Yeah, you'll see me searching. I think I just gave up and got a new one. So the idea is that with the same motor that pulls the photograph in the beginning up, it also pulls up these extra Polaroids. I'm gonna light them out right now, so I have like a clue where they should be. Make some flat sides so I can drill holes into this rod. I think my what's it called? The drill. It's called drill press. Drill press is broken right now. Right here. So I have to do this with the normal drill, which was a kind of a pain in the butt. But I think like this was like a couple days before shooting, or maybe the day before shooting, so it had to be done. Didn't have time to fix the drill press. Just put some scotch tape behind it. Normal like white rope. And it had to like be timed right. So when the first photograph was done, it had a small beat, and then the rest would come up. I tried to put everything on the right height. And now you will see the end result. So he is talking, blah blah blah. It's a nice work here, and then bam, sits over there, and then you see all the happy faces of his colleagues. Wow! Ta-da! Thank you for watching.